Alright guys, so here are my thoughts on the 3 micro amps. This is what I think is the best way to describe this. People hit me up on a daily basis. What's the best amp? What's the best sub? What's the best stereo? And people don't like to hear this, but here's the honest truth. It all depends on your budget, man. There's a reason why there's amps that cost $5,000, $10,000, $500. They're made for different budgets. And if your budget is $5,000, then you don't want to hear about the best $500 amp. And if your budget is $500, then you don't want to hear about the best $5,000 amp. So at the end of the day, it's what's the best thing for your budget, what's the best thing for you. So I'm gonna talk about these amps now. All 3 of these amps are 100 watts times 4 RMS. What does that mean? That means it's a sweet spot for mids and highs. Most mids and highs are around that range, between 70 to 120 watts. So if you have an amp that's 4 times 100, it's a perfect amp. These amps also have low pass and high pass filters, which means you can hook up a sub to them. On all 3 of these amps, I hooked up 2 6x9s and 1 12-inch subwoofer, and honestly, they all blew me away. They all sounded great. So that's another great alternative for these amps. As the solo amp for your system, you can run 2 door speakers and a subwoofer, and these things will work, man. Now let me tell you about which one I think is the best amp. The Sound Digital came in first place in my opinion. The sound quality, and it was a little bit louder. That's what I liked. Here's what I don't like about this amp. This amp is 3 times the price of these 2 amps. So you get about 10% more sound for about 3 times the price. Is that worth it for you? For some people it is, for some people it's not. Another thing I noticed about this amp runs hot. So it didn't turn off on me, it didn't give me any problems, but at the touch, I could feel this amp was hot. These amps did not overheat. So if we're talking about sound quality and price not being an issue, Sound Digital comes in number 1. But if you have a budget, you give up about 10% of the sound, honestly, these 2 amps sounded great at a third of the price. So like I said, it's all about your budget. It's all about what you're looking for. If you're willing to pay 3 times the price for an amplifier that runs 10% better, go with Sound Digital. And if you're not, then any of these 2 amps will work.